Yo, what's up? It is DJ Poet JT in the building, and you are here live. City World Media is in the building, man. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the JT Experience, man. We are glad to have you here. It's great, man. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. And we got a super packed show for you, and we're going to get into it, man. I promise you, this is where you want to be. We appreciate you. Again, we want to remind everybody that you want to go to the queencityawards.com/voting so you can vote me, James S. Thompson, for Author of the Year. I am nominated and definitely appreciate everybody that has voted and everybody that will vote. So continue to get those votes in. Continue to do your thing on that. We appreciate you on that. We got special guests that are going to come in the building today. And, we're going to talk something very different. We got a lot of interest in a lot of things that we are interested in. And when you're interested in those type of things, man, you like to bring people in. And, the two guys that we're going to bring online tonight are guys that are very versed and know, the subject matter that we rolling on today. So very, very excited, to have the guests that I'm going to have on tonight. We definitely are going to have a good time, great informative conversation. Anytime that I'm able to bring, special guests here on the JT Experience, man, we have fun, what I'm saying, with it. And it is a ball without question. So tonight, one of my guests has been here before, been on the show before, and had a great time. Last time he was on the JT Experience, and that's comedian Mr. Two Chops. I'm gonna bring him up on the line in a few minutes. Also, my guy is coming on the show for the very first time. I get the privilege of doing a podcast with him. It's called, We See Things a Little Differently. I see things a little different. Let me say that correctly. And he's got a lot of great music out, and he got a brand new comic book that's dropping. So we're gonna get that information before we get him out of here today. So we definitely look forward to having him on. And you've also heard his music here on the show. He's been on with us, a lot, and has done his thing. And we just have a great time every time, we have him on. So today I get the chance to welcome him in to the JT Experience. And there's no further ado, I got my man on The Slow Chemical. Welcome to the JT Experience.
Appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you.
No doubt, man. We're going to get right into it, man. I wanted to talk, man. Headlines been burning up. I think I sent you one of the pictures that I sent you today was of the most disliked post of 2025 for whatever reason, and they keep posting it, is of Jay Uso. And the latest one was the one where he won the Battle Royal the other night to face CM Punk for the world title. And I want to get your thoughts after your introduction to my audience to tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh man, I appreciate it. I am the Slow Chemical. I host a podcast called I Do Things a Little Differently. JT's a huge part of that now. I caught COVID earlier in August, and he was on the show for every week, and I appreciate him for doing that for me. Also have a bunch of music out on all streaming platforms, comic books. The newest one coming out November 12th called Basina, Death Don't Take Vacations. I'm super excited about all of it, man. But no, to answer your question, the Jey Uso thing is not really interesting to me, only because he's super over no matter what, right? Even though he's technically really a tweener right now. The thing that people don't like is when you look at someone like Jey Uso who's super over and getting these opportunities, it feels for some people like a little bit of the sameness. Here's the thing though, this Jey Uso character has been flushed out since 2020 when his brother went down with the ACL at WrestleMania that year, and then it was just him and Roman. We had to know more about Jey Uso than we ever did. And here's the thing, I'm a big LA Knight fan. Well, I'd love to see LA Knight get a run with that world championship. Absolutely. Here's the thing, they are so afraid, in my opinion, of going away from the bloodline because it does bring ratings. Even the dislikes, it brings activity. It brings social media activity. So it's like kind of hard to argue with when so many of us are working towards likes any attention is good attention to some people, right? For WWE, we know what they're about. They now don't even film most of their stuff. They let the fans film it and to let it go, air quotes, I'm doing air quotes, air quotes, viral. So they want this. They don't mind this at all. They're going to use this just to keep pushing him. And here's my thing about him winning the Rumble, the Battle Royal this past Monday night. That's what I say it's on the show for my Monday show. I am not surprised because you know what? Whoever wins this is very much a temporary holder of that championship. If you look at the character, just look at the character work. I'm not saying that Triple H's booking, JT has been perfect, but if you look at the character work, Jey Uso's been getting way more character work than most people have been doing. So to put him in this position is not surprising, and people don't realize, even though you're disliking, you're still giving WWE what they want, and that's attention on that particular story.
Yeah, man, I agree. It's just I just didn't know the level of dislike. Well, yeah, I did, but it's just to see it all over again and think, man, where do we go? Because a lot of this was caused by the injury to Seth Rollins and the fumble drop of John Cena's heel turn back to fan favorite. I think there was some domino effects in there. But my thing is, man, where do we go from here? What direction do you see the storyline that goes with Jay? I know you said short championship reign, but who do you think would take the belt off of Jay?
To be honest with you, I can see whoever wins Saturday main event. I can see them losing the belt at the Royal Rumble, which will be, I believe, in Saudi next year. And I believe that person, I don't want to say Gunther. I know that's the most popular one. Because to me, I said this to you before, WWE or Triple H, whoever, they need to do more character work on Gunther without a belt. 95% of the time he's been on any roster, whether it's an NXT roster, NXT UK roster, or WWE main roster, he's had a championship. That is a level of domination that you do not want to make the fans turn him by accident or whatever. But to answer your question directly, honestly, I think the person that they should probably put that belt on is Braun Breaker. He's ready. If you look at him with that championship in that suit, he looks more fit for that role. And I mean this with no disrespect. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. He looks, even though Scott's a former world champion, he looks better than his father did and his uncle did. Just looking at that, he just looked like a star. He looked like someone you could put as the face of your company in there. And what you can do is give this guy a long championship run until Seth Rollins comes back. And I think he's the guy that takes it from him. Because to me, it was more telling that obviously plans got out of whack, right? And I get that. Plans change all the time. But to me, it was more telling that the fact that they really kind of they made it clear they were not going to force his belt on him. If you look at Triple H's booking, the one thing that Triple H has been consistent about is he is all about the slow burn. He is about the 1980s burn, and for me personally, JC, I don't mind that. However, we live in a much different time. The storylines that they ran with the mega powers breaking up were so strategic and so perfect for that time. Layers to it. But the thing about it is that his booking has not been layered. That makes sense. So I think it's going to be Braun Breaker who's going to go into WrestleMania next year in Las Vegas as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Okay, cool. Well, on the line, while the Snow Chemical was talking and giving his take, we bring in Mr. Two Chops. We're gonna bring you in on the hot take. What do you think is going to happen? Do you see Jey Uso holding the title if he beats CM Punk in Saturday night's main event, or do you think it goes the other way? What's your take on the main event, CM Punk, Jey Uso at Saturday night's main event?
Unfortunately for Jay, this is what I think is going to happen. CM Punk's going to win. Jay's going to go full heel. And I think he's going to go full heel. Like, basically, he's going to do that whole when Roman did everything to Braun and Bray. I think that's what he's about to do. He's about to go full heel.
Okay, and I've been waiting to bring Slow Chemical and Mr. Two Chops together because I talk to them individually about wrestling all the time. So I got opportunity to bring them on now. So going back to the Slow Chemical, what other main headline right now in the WWE would you like to touch on?
Cody losing that belt. I don't think Cody needs to go heel right now. He's the face of the company, but he needs to lose that belt. I think it could add more layers to his story. I think Randy Orton needs to get one more crack at that belt, holding it. So I think a heel Randy Orton is what SmackDown needs right now. Because SmackDown is a very, very boring show, personally.
So we did get the breaking news that Drew McIntyre is going to challenge Cody Rhodes for that belt at the next pay-per-view. And so do you see, Mr. Two Chops, do you see Drew McIntyre taking the belt off of Cody?
I think he should. I just don't think he will. I think he should because honestly, he's the heel of that show now. And like Slow Chemical said, I think it should be Randy Orton going full 2011, 2012. Randy Orton with the shaved head, fronting people type. They need something. It's been dry. The bloodline thing has done ran its course. I like the NFTs. Don't get me wrong. I like the whole Gorillas of Destiny face paint type stuff. But I mean, if they lose to the White Six, it's like, what are we doing? You know, we got so many talented people. It's just they're dry, and they got no new stars. I mean, they don't know what they're gonna do with LA Knight. I don't even know if he's on Raw or SmackDown now. He's more on Raw than he was SmackDown. So I just think if Drew wins, I'm happy because he kind of deserves it, man. Let's be honest. When he won the title, it was that wasn't it around COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the COVID title. So him and Bobby Lashley had that COVID title thing. They never did get the runs they deserve. So I think he kind of needs a heel run. I mean, because honestly, he's the most entertaining heel right now in the company on SmackDown anyway. But yeah, I think he should win. I just don't think he will. They own Cody too much. They're doing the whole Roman Reigns 3 of the debacle. But the difference between him and Roman had charisma. Cody is just boring as all get out.
Wow. Slow Chemical, any reaction to Mr. Two Chops' comments?
I can understand why he would say Cody is boring. Me personally, I don't think he's boring. He is what the WWE needs right now. That's the thing people fail to realize. John Cena was the same way. Like he what Triple H wants is the same thing Vince wanted. It's for to be one face of the company. And that face of the company, unless it's controversial, over the last 20 years has been pretty boring. So John, but you know, to me, I'm not going to knock them for that. But I also don't. This is me. After seeing what they did with John Cena's heel turn, I do not trust these people to give Cody Rhodes a proper heel turn right now. If we get that heel turn right now, it would be bad.
It would be bad. I mean, the only way I can't see him turning heel without a faction. He has to have some type of faction. Maybe they kind of pull from the New Japan type Cody when he really was healing. You know what I'm saying? He was really getting heat. But, I mean, he's like John Cena now. I mean, it's like, basically, Cody is like Rey Mysterio now. You can't turn him heel. It's just like, he's been a face for so long, you can't turn him heel. I don't understand how, you know. Now that would be a surprise if they turned Rey Mysterio heel. That'd be awesome. But you know, he's not wrestling. But yeah, Cody is it's like '90s Hulk Hogan right now. It's like here he comes again. And I don't know it's not his fault. I mean, he's just doing what he's doing, you know. But there's so many other people that's talented, but they're getting up there in age that ain't getting those opportunities, and you losing talent left and right. And I know it's a big company, but you know, back in the day, I mean, I know people playing for nostalgia, but I'm one of them. I mean, I grew up on wrestling. I mean, the '90s era was it. I mean, everybody say attitude, but it was because every match hit, even the mid card matches. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's not like that anymore. It's kind of waiting for it to be over with.
Yeah, definitely.
Something continually going on for me to catch my attention, you know, for me to watch it. I think Raw is it. And the problem was SmackDown was it for a while. And they was like, oh, Raw getting all the sponsors and everything, but their product is stale, so they had to do something. And that's why, you know, CM Punk is over there. You know, you had everybody over there now, so you know.
Interesting. I wanna get your take on something, Slow Chemical. I want to get your reaction, but I want to get your take on the turn for the Hardy Boys. Going back to Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy, what is your take? And do you think that it's a good time for them because they're getting ready to defend them tag team belts? Is it a good time to turn them back into those two characters?
I mean, you can do whatever you want to with the Hardys. At this point, the Hardys are. I see the Hardys where Sting was. Sting didn't have to build up to being clown or Joker Sting or whatever. He just did it. And it was just fun. That's what made his run in AEW so fun. It's still fun seeing him, but like this, you just will randomly see a Joker Sting, right? Now the Hardy Boys, they are truly just living legends. They're still able to do it at a high level. I watched that match with them in the Dudleys. Let me tell you something. It might not have been 2000, but that was all heart from all four of those guys. And for me, you can do whatever you want to with Hardy Boys. I don't think you need to do anything with the. You don't need to specifically like turn them. Just let them have fun. If the match requires them to be what they are, they'll be all good.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. I agree as well.
Analogy to Sting, though. Good. That's my favorite wrestler, by the way.
I want to shift to AEW for a minute. I want to get y'all's take on Darby Allin. Is Darby Allin the flagship for AEW? I'm gonna go slow chemical first.
No, Hangman is.
Gotcha. Two chops.
I don't think he is, but I don't think it's Hangman. I mean, I would think it would be. Well, that is okay. I thinking about it, you might be right. If put like this, if it ain't him, dang, that's kind of hard, man. I mean,
it's a loaded question.
2 years ago, I would say Jericho, but it's most definitely not him now. Yeah, I would say Hangman. He's one of the originals.
It's a loaded question because I was looking for one of y'all.
I'll give you that, but I think Darby Allin number 2.
It's a loaded question because I was looking for one of y'all to say MJF because that would have been mine.
His me personally, my opinion, I think his it's gone. It's gone with him. It's like they don't know what to do with him. It might be time for him to go somewhere else.
Wow.
I actually disagree with that. The reason why I wouldn't say MJF and the reason I did not say MJF in particular is because his schedule. His schedule's too light. They definitely know what to do with him. Like, we think about what they're doing with him and the way he set things up. They set him up to lose to Mark Briscoe 2 months ago. They knew he was going to be out doing a movie or whatever. When he comes back, he's cashing in that briefcase, probably at World End, and he's taking that World Championship back. They know what to do with him. The thing is, the AEW schedule is so light for a lot of those guys. It's like Roman Reigns-ish. I can't put him as the flag bearer. He's one of them for sure. But Hangman is the main character
he's one of the top 5. Well, I put him above Darby Allin, but Darby Allin's been the most consistent of all of them. And he has the most craziest matches of all of them. One thing I can say I love about AEW. Sting's AEW run is anything he even thought about doing at WWE.
So I want to ask both of you, and I love the conversation because we're getting different perspective. But I'm gonna go with you, Mr. Two Chops first, and then reaction Slow Chemical. What wrestler would you put above Ric Flair as greatest wrestler of all time, and why?
You already know who my favorite of all time is. If we going everything, it's got to be Sting.
Okay.
It's got to be Sting from here. Yeah, it's got to be Sting. If I got to put anybody above Ric Flair, that's the only person I can think of.
And why? Moment, yeah. And why would you put Sting above Ric Flair? Give me one reason.
Sting did it and didn't have to have a title. He ran the company and didn't even have to have a belt around. That's when you know you're good.
Okay. Slow Chemical.
I'll do one even better. The person that's above Ric Flair, he's above him, is Shawn Michaels. He's the greatest of all time.
Okay.
I'm hard pass on Shawn.
Wow.
One of the greatest performers, though. Greatest performer, I give him that. But I watched some of his 90s matches when he was, booking himself, as they say. He was a locker room jack. You know what I'm saying? So,
but that didn't do with the ring, though. In the ring, because Flair was just as problematic if you think about it.
Oh yeah. I ain't shutting down nothing about Ric Flair. I meant Ric Flair personally. Ric Flair's a dick. I can tell you that personally. But if I'm a fan, for somebody being a standard bearer, being the greatest, I would have to say, me personally, I would have to say. And the reason why, I get Shawn a lot of flack, man. I'm a Shawn Michaels fan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a comedian, so I gotta keep it real. I ain't like Shawn Michaels since he kicked The Rock on the first episode of SmackDown. Shawn Michaels kicked my ass. It was but I tell you what, though, he kind of got me back when he kicked Booker T out of the NWO. The loudest kick I've ever heard in my life. Because Ken has to be gone. Now, when he caught it, and he, it looked clean. I just kicked Shawn.
Yeah.
Stan. It was Stan, wasn't it?
Wow.
That Shawn Spears he kicked, that was Stan.
Stan, yeah. You're right. I'm glad you brought that up because they gave me a question that I wanted to ask Slow Chemical. Just randomness, Slow Chemical. Between these two wrestlers, Perry Saturn and Raven, why were they both underrated wrestlers? Perry Saturn and Raven.
They were both underrated because their best work was in ECW, and neither Eric Bischoff nor Vince McMahon knew how to use them. Now, in fairness to both of them, those two promoters, Raven specifically, you had to push the limits of Raven. Like when I think about pushing the limits is when he put Sandman on the cross. They had to come out and apologize as his real self. When I think about Raven, I think about him versus Tommy Dreamer and that feud that went on for years. Like that's his greatest rival without a doubt. You know,
you see them doing the Hall of Fame celebration.
Right. So it's one of those things where Raven and Perry Saturn, you just had to push them in a different way that they were not comfortable with pushing. And in fairness, they couldn't push them because they had sponsors and people that they were responsible for. So as a business person, I do understand it. At the same time, they were always meant to be underrated.
Wow. Any reaction to Chops?
You hit the nail on the head with that one. I agree wholeheartedly. ECW was they was themselves. They didn't have nobody saying you can't do that. You got to wrestle tomorrow night. They didn't have that schedule like WWE and WCW. Whereas they were having nightly shows, 3 shows a week and, pay-per-view at the end of the month. They didn't have it like that, so they could do them and, but yeah, you were totally correct about booking. They didn't know how to book them. I would say that Eric Bischoff booked him better than WWE ever did. I mean, but we all know what that was. Vince don't like people that don't work for him or that tried to put him out of business. Just think about it. Anybody ever came over, he gave him shit. Sting said the only reason he didn't come to WWE after leaving when it got folded was how he seen how they did Booker T. When he had The Rock, who didn't want to do it, but you get paid to do this job, you got to do it. Saying, who in the blue hell are you? Basically saying, yeah. He said he had a problem with that, so that's why he didn't come over.
Awesome. We live here on the JT Experience here on City World Media. We talking wrestling with the Slow Chemical and Mr. Two Chops. I'm gonna ask you this, Slow Chemical. Why does Jimmy Hart not get his flowers for being a great manager?
I think it's easy. Unfortunately, I think it's easy to forget about him because he was with the, without a doubt, the biggest personality in wrestling history, Hulk Hogan. So, and Hogan didn't really need him, but he didn't. But Jimmy Hart was also more instrumental behind the scenes, doing entrance music and helping other wrestlers. Like he was such a big person. If you look at Bobby Heenan, the biggest personality he was probably ever with was Andre the Giant, right? After that, Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, or whatever. But because he was on commentary, it made it easy to fall in love with Bobby Heenan. Jimmy Hart is just as integral to the wrestling industry. He's very important, but he was such a big personality. I think it's hard to, for me, it's not. I know who my top 5 managers are of all time. He's in that. But I can understand how other people would, unfortunately, think about him.
You're right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Two Chops.
I'm going to tell you my opinion on Jimmy Hart. For somebody named Mount for the South, he didn't talk enough for me. Your Bobby Heenan did promos, talk junk. You got Paul Heyman, of course, talk junk. I mean, good God, Mr. Fuji, he didn't talk, but he did something. He did something in the match. He had memorable moments in the match. So that's why you remember them. But Jimmy Hart is Jimmy Hart. I mean, his loud suits and all that. But if you think about it, he's the one still kicking. I don't know if you've seen that interview with Paul Heyman. Was like, Jimmy Hart, why won't he die already? I'm like, what? That's just old school wrestling where they they know I don't mean nothing by it, but I want to pull you in. So that's why I like Paul Heyman.
So my managers is like a tie for me. As far as my favorites, Captain Lou Albano and Paul Ellering are some of the greatest for me, just because they manage some of my favorite wrestlers, the Road Warriors. Captain Lou Albano was just for me, the Wild Samoans were one of my favorite tag teams. So that's why, they rank up there for me. But I want to ask either one of you that want to take this. Which one is the greater manager, Paul Heyman or Bobby the Brain Heenan, in your opinion?
Are you asking me first?
Yeah, you go first.
Paul Heyman.
Why?
Walking on the mic didn't need nobody behind him. He can do a promo by himself. Bobby couldn't. I mean, Bobby could, but like you said, you remember him from commentary more than you do anything else. I mean, Paul Heyman, this dude done been everything.
Got you. Slow Chemical, what you got?
I'm gonna go with Bobby Heenan, just because he could adapt to anybody. Same like Mr. Heyman can, but I feel like Bobby Heenan gave him the blueprint for that, and just from him going from Andre to Hercules. And I mean this with as much disrespect as possible. Hercules couldn't wrestle. Hercules was an awful wrestler, and he still adapted to him. He adapted to ravishing Rick Rude, like these big personalities. Going back to his personalities, he still adapted to them. Ric Flair, going back to one of the dude. That '92 run is so legendary because he had Mr. Perfect. He had Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan on commentary during the 1992 Royal Rumble to me, is the greatest. Him and Monsoon. I watched that Rumble, only listen to those two talk and go back and forth, and I know what they're going to say. It was so much fun, and it just, for me, it took Bobby Heenan to a next level because, like, Ric Flair didn't need him, but he enhanced him so much, and it's just fun. So for me personally, it's always Bobby Heenan first, Paul Heyman 2, Jim Cornette 3.
Ooh,
yes.
Forgot about Jimmy. What about JJ Dillon, man? JJ Dillon was awesome.
I love Jimmy. JJ is in my top 10. I've already done a list like this on my show before. JJ Dillon is in my top 10, but he's not my top 5 though.
Yeah. JJ Dillon. Yeah.
What about Paul?
Like I said, it's just the personalities, just based on the personalities. But yeah, nice way to explain it with because I mean, there would be no Paul Heyman without Bobby the Brain. So I agree.
What about Paul Jones and Teddy Long?
I got to give Teddy a shot just because he's Teddy Long. Teddy was a better GM than he was manager. I got it is GM, manager, referee. Them three.
To me, Teddy Long is the greatest utility player of wrestling history. He adapted to everything. He managed Ron Simmons and Butch Cassidy. Butch Reed, thank you so much. Butch Reed, one of the best underrated tag teams of all time. Meanwhile, he was Rodney. Also, he refereed one of the matches in Chicago with Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat. People don't know he won the count to 3 count. And meanwhile, then he became one of the most entertaining general managers in WWE. He's just the greatest utility player to me.
Is Darby Allin this generation's Terry Funk?
He's worse.
He's
worse.
Now, what was the question again?
Darby Allin, is he our generation's Terry Funk?
I'll give him Mick Foley more than Terry Funk.
Mick Foley. Okay. The whole Cactus Jack.
Mick Foley than Terry. Terry could talk. He can wrestle and save his life now. I mean, old school wrestler, but gosh.
Slow Chemical. I gotta ask you.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I gotta ask you, greatest barbed wire match in history with what 2 people, in your opinion?
Me personally, I like the one in ECW with Sabu and Cactus Jack, and the reason why I'll be honest with you, when it's stuff like this car crash type of match, I don't know if there is the greatest one. I really don't know. Because to me, when I think about that match, like, it was innovative for the time for this country. But dude, when I look at another barbed wire match, I see Sabu versus Abyss and TNA. That was way more brutal, and Abyss is crazy. But obviously, that the blueprint was Cactus and Sabu, and you have one of those people in that match. But I'll give it that one just to answer the question. Okay. But me personally, I really do find the Sabu Abyss match in TNA, early TNA, is so. I think any wrestling fan, if you get your hands on early TNA and just watch it, you will appreciate people like Samoa Joe more, Abyss, AJ Styles. I would even say Jeff Jarrett. I know he was a hog at times, but there's a lot of people. If you look at their storylines, man, it's pretty dope, man.
It was good. I just say that Jeff Jarrett's music. I'm sorry, man. I'm like, dude.
Oh, 2 Chops. I got one for you.
I like it, but it was like, and I'm like,
I got one for you, and Slow Chemical, you can chime in. Between these 2 matches, which one was the better gimmick? Did you like War Games, or do you like Elimination Chamber over War Games? Which one was the better steel cage match?
War Games. WCW War Games.
Okay. Why?
Man. All I can remember, I remember watching those, but I remember Sid Vicious trying to powerbomb. I think it was Arn Anderson, and Arn got stuck in the top of the cage. They had the cage too low.
No, that was Brian Pillman.
Brian Pillman,
yeah,
okay.
I knew it was somewhere. I knew it was somebody from the Horsemen. It was, but Yeah.
Okay, Slow Chemical. Which one? Which two?
That was, sorry to cut you off, bro. That was a terrible looking powerbomb. No, you were right. That was horrific to watch. No, it has to be War Games. I mean, Dusty Rhodes' invention, it birthed, obviously, Elimination Chamber, but to me, until it got to the NWO, outside after 96, just to me, when NWO just took over, every War Games, there was something at stake. And yeah, it might have been, it might have been all the bad guys go first. It might have been, very predictable in some cases. But when you have, the Sting's alliance versus, Paul Heyman's alliance, and it always just felt special. To me, when the Elimination Chamber just became a pay-per-view. And it became something, we got to do this now, so I guess we got to put 6 people in here and do this and do something crazy up top. But War Games always, until 96, in my opinion, always was like, we're having this match because this is how a feud, similar to how AEW uses it now. Their blood and guts is only for these prime feuds, and that's been still going on. So to me, it has to be War Games. Elimination Chamber can be decent, but man, let's be real. It happens once a year. We see it. It goes by. How many people actually remember it at this point? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but how many people do think about it?
Not a lot. Not a lot. You make a great point, Slow Chemical, for real, man. Not a lot. I actually have it still on video, on VHS, because I was a huge fan of the very, very first one. So I still have it in the archives. And I still watch it from time to time. So, man, I want to say, man, first of all, great segment with both of y'all, having both of y'all on at the same time and being able to go through different perspectives. And this is the time now I want you to give your social media handles and what you got coming up. Two Chops, you go first. I know you got a comedy show coming up. Let everybody know how they can follow you and what you got coming up.
Oh yeah. I'm Mr. Two Chops on all social media, except for Facebook. Facebook won't let me be great, so it's just Regis Mr. Two Chops Williams. But I have a show November 2nd at Hoppin' in Rock Hill. Come on, see us. Tickets $10. Come down, see your boy. Guaranteed to make you laugh. You go come in a different person. I guarantee you go leave a different person. So, also I got other events coming on. I got some MCing, some DJing I got coming up. But, that's the most recent thing I got coming up. So, yeah. It's Mr. Two Chops on all social media. And my podcast is Hanging with Mr. Two Chops. I'm on all your social, Podbean, Apple Podcast, Spotify, all that good stuff. So yeah.
Give them a little bit of burning before you get out of here.
That's what, oh Lord, I told them kids. I said, fuck them kids. I don't care about them children.
It is, Mr. Two Chops. Mr. Two Chops, I appreciate you, man. Now, that's it. Now to my guy, Slow Chemical, tell us what you got upcoming. Definitely plug the podcast and all music, man.
My music's everywhere, man. It's on every streaming platform. Even got some stuff on SoundCloud. My newest book, issue 8 of Messina, called Death Don't Take Vacations, will be out November 12th. It is available for pre-order on my Instagram. I am the Slow Chemical. You can follow me. I definitely follow back. I'm way more active on that than I am on any other social media, to be honest with you, because I find that it's just easier to communicate on that because I'm not really on my phone a lot, unfortunately, to be on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it today. But I appreciate JT for having me on, man. Thank you. Once again, my podcast, I see things a little differently. I like to take JT as a weekly guest, but at this point, he's become integral to the show. And the fans have told me that, we just play off each other very well. Even our disagreements about wrestling, they come off as healthy compared to what other people have going on. Because I appreciate his takes and what he has going on, man. So thank you for having me on, JT.
Yeah, man. 2 of the dopest brothers that I know, and I thought it very important to bring them on the JT experience. It's just a lot when we come together and we chop it up on things that we have passion about. It just hits different. So I appreciate both you, Slow Chemical, and you, Mr. Two Chops. They will be back on the show soon. We look forward to everything that they got upcoming. We appreciate y'all, brothers, and we will talk to y'all later.
Peace. All right, man.
All right, take care.
Thanks, man.
All right. Again, man, very talented brothers, man, that we able to come on, and it's just amazing when you have those type of, conversations and you're able to bring it full circle. We're gonna hit a real quick 12-second commercial break.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Kendra D from Life with Ken, the podcast show. You are now tuned in to City World Media with DJ Poet JT on the JT Experience Show.
I am DJ Poet JT. I appreciate you, Kendra D. And we about to get back into another segment, man. The JT Experience has different things going on. We do different stuff, and this is no different. We're gonna, every show is gonna be different and have its own little thing. And as we bring different guests on and have different, topics, situations, is going to spurn all of the levels of what's going on in the world. And I have the esteemed pleasure of bringing my brother over from Big Woo Radio to talk sports. He is the guru of sports because I can throw out any sport to him and he gonna be able to come and tell me what it is, the statistics, and the whole 9 yards. So I want to welcome my brother Adonis Donnie Martin to the show.
What's going on, JT? My pleasure to truly be here.
Man, welcome to the JT Experience, my brother, and I want to get right into it, man. Like inside the NBA, man, we are cracking skulls and getting to it, and the headlines are immense. So you can dive in to the top. Well, I want to dive in. I want to ask you first and foremost about what we're 2 days in today, and what do you think so far about any action you've been able to catch so far?
Man, well, I've caught a lot. I actually went to the Hornets game myself last night, and then I got home, and of course, I got 3 TVs, so I caught it in the three good games and then I watched the Mavericks, the Timberwolves, and then the Suns. So I caught damn near every game that was on TV the last couple of days. So far, man, we off to a great start to this NBA season. I can tell you one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. Victor Wembanyama is unstoppable. That kid is going to be a monster. This is going to be his breakout year. Look for him to be in the top 5 of the MVP voting, if not the MVP, as long as he can stay healthy. My boy Ant, he's back doing what Ant does. I still don't like his shot selection 100% of the time. I wish he put a little more pressure on the D and attack the basket as opposed to settling for that 3. But he's back at it. Shea is back at it again. Mr. Scored 3 points in the first half and then finished with 35 or whatever it was for the game. Like, he's back at it. It's going to be an awesome NBA season. Melo and them. The Hornets look good. 10 players with double figures. 9 players with double figures last night, and led by Brandon Miller's 25. Like, even the Hornets looking good. So it's a lot of action going on, a lot of teams right now, and a lot of excitement around the league, and I can't wait for it.
So your opinion, since you was at the game last night, your opinion on Sexton, the point guard, being added to the Hornets, what difference did you see last night in the game with him?
When I first heard of the move, it didn't strike me as Colin Sexton, hey, good player. But how does that fit on the Hornets? Like, our strength is at point guard. Like, why would we pick up another one just to make him the backup when he's a starter quality player? No, he fits in perfectly with this team. And I'm liking Melo off the ball a little bit more. So, yeah, Colin Sexton came in last night, played his butt off. He was another guy who scored in double figures last night, made all the right plays, key plays, smart plays, and he is going to fit in just fine. Like I said, and moving Melo off the ball and allowing him to free up to just pick him. They ran a lot of pick and rolls with Melo and Colin Sexton last night. I like that because you either got to follow Colin and you're going to leave Melo wide open for the trade, or if you don't follow him, he's going to the cup to get an easy deuce. But either way, it works out great with those two in a pick and roll, and then you can do the same with Brandon Miller and Miles. Like, great pickup for the Hornets. I wasn't sure how it was going to work because I was like, man, we got, we're a small team and got small. But nah, tremendous pickup for the Hornets.
Yeah, dude. I want to know if you know that Vegas actually has the Hornets winning the NBA championship.
No way. Ain't no way.
Yes. Yes, man. And so I got excited when they put up 138 points. And then when I watched the game, I was like, I didn't know that that was the Hornet squad that was going to be on the screen. But I was thoroughly impressed with 9 players in double figures and them doing work like what they did last night. I was with it, man. I know you enjoyed the action live, but what I seen on TV last night, if they keep that up, they can definitely be a contender.
Yes, they got a lot of contribute. Because now, keep in mind, it was the lowly Brooklyn Nets. So there is much better competition out there that we're going to have to face, and we're going to have to face them soon. So, it's going to be a whole lot tougher games than that. But yes, everybody contributed last night, which is how I see this roster being played out. Keep a 10-man rotation and play all 10 guys, and keep the guys fresh, like Musa Diabate, undersized center, but he comes in there and gives you great energy, great effort, and it played in short bursts. He can actually take over some games like he did last night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thoroughly surprised by the big center, Renner. I can't even say the boy's name. However you say the boy's name,
Yeah.
I know what I'm excited about our big men. I was pissed when we traded away Mark Williams last year, or got rid of Mark Williams in the offseason and traded away Nick Richards during the middle of the year. I was pissed about that. But looking back, man, the Hornets knew what they were doing more than I did, because this little kid we got now, he can play.
Want to move to the Dallas Mavericks and your thoughts on their team and what they will look like when Kyrie gets back.
Man, see, tough matchup for them last night. They had the Spurs, and I never thought I would see anybody make Anthony Davis look small, but Victor Wembanyama absolutely did that. He was just making Davis just look like he just didn't have enough size to guard him. But excuse me for that. But to answer your question about the Mavericks, they're going to be just fine, and they're going to be elite when Kyrie gets back. Because right now, I like their depth. They got a PJ Washington coming in off the bench. They got Derek Lively will be back. He'll be starting, and then that moves the other guy to the bench. I can't think of his name right now, but they're definitely a deep team. Cooper Flag, he didn't play that well offensively last night, struggled a little bit from the field, but we all know that's going to work itself out throughout the course of the season. He's going to be all right. He's going to be a low double-double, not double-double, but I figure him averaging about 15 and 8 this year by the time it's all said and done. So a solid rookie season out of Cooper. You got AD, if he can stay healthy, playing at a high level. Then you got to add Kyrie back into that mix. Yeah, this team is going to be one to compete very well in the West.
Want to get your thoughts on Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets. Everybody that started the other night was 6'11" or better, and they had Durant as the shortest guy, but they say Durant is closer to 7 feet. So they had no pure point guard starting in the starting lineup. I want to get your thoughts on that strategy and what you think they're going to do this season.
I think this is the perfect era to not have a pure point guard in. But with that being said, this is going to hurt that team. You could definitely tell that they missed Fred VanVleet last night. They absolutely need him. He stabilizes it. Because Amon Thompson, much as I love him, he's not a true point guard. The kid can handle the ball, but him bringing it up and down the court every time is not the most ideal situation. So that team is definitely going to miss Fred VanVleet. I feel like they need to actually trade for a more traditional point guard. Even if you bring in somebody like Mike Conley from Minnesota Timberwolves, somebody like that can get the ball to those shooters and those scorers that you got in the spots where because last night they had Sengun bringing up the rock. 2 nights ago, had Sengun bringing up the rock. Like, I don't like my 7-foot center bringing up the ball, then backing in from the 3-point line, trying to back his man all the way down to the paint. No, get your big butt in the paint, let my point guard feed this rock in there to you, and then let you go to work and operate. So, and if anybody's going to bring the ball up, I would rather it be Kevin Durant out of all the guys that they do have started. So either way, I definitely feel like long-term the Houston Rockets are going to need a point guard to substitute while VanVleet's out, because as elite as they are, as tall as they are, this strategy just ain't going to work without having a real one on the floor.
Early prediction. Who do you got coming out of the East?
Oh, gosh. You know what? I don't know. It's too early to call.
Milwaukee looks good right now. The Knicks are going to be the Knicks. They're going to be all right. Boston, who played a little bit better than people expected without Tatum. But I don't think they have a legit shot without Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid is going to slowly but surely work himself back into shape. And you saw what VJ Edge coming and Tyrese Maxey was able to do last night.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting 72 combined points from your backcourt.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a healthy Joel Embiid in that mix, and that makes that another problem to deal with. Orlando, I like Orlando's makeup. I think they're a pretty tough team. And not to mention, you don't have the easy wins like you did because the teams like Charlotte and Brooklyn and Washington are all improved, and they're going to play you night in and night out. So right now, I don't know who's coming out of the East. We had Indiana Pacers represent us last year, so I feel like it's another year where the East is wide open.
Got to talk about got to go out west and your thoughts on my Golden State Warriors.
Oh, tough game for y'all last night. I definitely watched that one. Jimmy Butler. My thing is, how consistent is Jimmy Butler going to be? Because if you get the Jimmy Butler y'all got last night, then y'all got a great season ahead of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is, we know that's not Jimmy Butler every single night. He doesn't necessarily take nights off, but he takes scoring nights off. Where he doesn't doesn't want to be the primary go-to scorer for some reason. He wants to facilitate, turn into Jimmy Dimes. You know what I mean? Like, boy, shoot the daggone rock so we can get some buckets. But I think, unfortunately, y'all are a little bit too long in the tooth to compete at a championship level. But y'all are definitely, playoff worthy in the West Conference, in the deep Western Conference.
Yeah, Draymond Green didn't waste no time. I think he was about 6 minutes in before he got his first technical of the year. So you already know what to expect from him.
That's part of the problem as well. Draymond and his hot head, he's going to cost y'all a game or three throughout the year just on Draymond antics, and you know it. Or missing games because he kicked somebody in the the game before. Because the older he gets, the worse he's getting with his attitude and all of that. He really just don't care anymore. I'm not saying that he doesn't care, because we all know he truly does, but you know what I mean.
What's your picks? We got two marquee matches tonight. Who do you got tonight between the Thunder and the Pacers?
I got the Thunder in that one. Thunder obviously already played their first game. Pacers have not. This is their opening night tonight. I don't know what the new look Pacers going to look like minus Halliburton and Miles Turner. So, Pascal Siakam, I like him. Naismith, and these, all the guys. I can't think of their name. Benedict Mathurin and all of those guys. Yeah. They're tough. The Pacers, one thing we know, they're going to play you hard no matter who's on the floor. But I just think OKC just has entirely too much firepower. They're defending national NBA champions for a reason, and they're loaded in every position. Even without Jay Williams playing right now, they're still just loaded in every position. They're a deep team, and they're just going to wear you down throughout the night. So I got my money on the OKC Thunder tonight.
Late game tonight: Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors. Who you got?
That's one of those tough ones to call right there, because if Jokic comes out and plays like Jokic, y'all might be in for a long night. But on the flip side of that, Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, if Jimmy Butler plays like he did last night, y'all are going to be hard to beat night in and night out. So I don't know if I had to call one. I'm going to say Denver just because it's opening night for them. I feel like they're going to be turned up, but too close of a game to call. I wouldn't put $1 on it either way.
No doubt, I agree, but I'm rolling with Golden State tonight. Let me give you an insight on the WNBA and their season and their champions, the Las Vegas Aces.
Man, what a season by the Las Vegas Aces. And of course, my favorite player in the league, I'm a Minnesota, I was about to say Twins, Minnesota Lynx fan. So my favorite player is Nafisa Collier, just by default. But my absolute favorite player is Asia Wilson. She's been my girl since South Carolina, and she absolutely balls. And the way that team was able to go on a, 17, 18-game winning streak after being almost, I think they were out of the WNBA playoff rankings at the time that they went on that streak. And then to end up not only going on an 18-game winning streak to close out the season, but then ended up the battle through the tough playoff battles that they had to get through to get to that championship. Man, all hats off to them. Becky Hammond can coach her little butt off. The players can play. Jewel Lloyd is tough. What's her name? Chelsea Gray. Like, they just got players in every position. People you cannot stop. Jackie, what's Jackie's last name?
Jackie Young.
Yeah, Jackie Young. They just got people that you cannot stop. And anybody can get going for them on any given night. So hats off to them. Well-deserved championship. Them girls did their thing this year.
So, Caitlin Clark, did we miss something with the injury? Or do you think that there was something more significant that was going on?
Nah, you know what? That one is mysterious to me, if I can be honest, because that injury, which was supposed to be day to day, turned into week to week, turned into the half of the damn season. So I still don't know what actually happened to Caitlin, but I know one thing for sure, two things for certain: the WNBA went on without her, and that is a great thing for the sport. That the fans that she brought in, thank you for coming along with her. But now that you see what you're here for, even without her, this league still works. There are some great players, and the show must go on. So I wish Caitlin nothing but the best. I hope she comes back strong and ready to ball out next year, because with her, that Indiana team might not have lost that series and might have been celebrating the championship themselves, because they are tough as well. At least Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. So they got a tough squad right there. And I can't think of the white girl's name, Carrington, whatever. But anyway, I ain't gonna get all of that. But yeah, they are a tough team right now. But as far as Caitlin, don't know what happened with that. Don't know if that was a ploy for the WNBA. I don't know what that was all about. But I wish her the best. I hope her a speedy recovery and come back next year balling, girl.
So let me ask you, do you agree with UConn being the women's number one preseason ranked team?
I don't know about UConn's recruits this year. I know they lost a lot. I know they still have a lot from last year, but I know you lost the number one player in the country, Paige Beckers, who absolutely proved that she was the number one player in the country by the way that she performed in the WNBA just 3 months after the college season finished. And that girl absolutely balled out. That's who deserved the hype that Caitlin Clark came into the league with, was Paige Beckers. So losing a big piece like Paige Beckers, who had been there for 4 or 5 years, I think she sat out 1 year hurt, but who had been there, been your heart and soul, I don't know. And then not to mention, there are other teams out there, South Carolina's, LSU's, that have gotten better. Tennessee, I know they had a nice recruiting class. So it's going to be some programs out there. I don't know if USC and UCLA, hey, both of them are pretty good still. So I don't know about UConn's number one ranking. I didn't check their recruits for this year, but hey, if they are number one preseason, knowing what I know about all the rest of the teams, that means that UConn team is still pretty stacked.
So let me ask you about two things in the women's college basketball before we move on. Your thoughts on Malaysia Fulwiley moving and transferring to LSU, and what do you think about the matchup when she comes back to Columbia to face South Carolina?
I think that's going to be because I don't know why Malaysia Fulwiley left Dawn Staley. I don't know why. I know her best year was her freshman year. She struggled the year after that, but I still feel like stay there and work it out long term. Dawn is a great coach. She gets the most out of her players, and I feel like if you can't get along with Dawn, it's more you than it is Dawn. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but you go into another great coach in Kim Mulkey. I love the fact that you and Flage are going to form a nice little backcourt now. But I just don't. I just didn't like her comments when she said that she wanted to go somewhere where she felt welcome and loved. And I was thinking, how did you miss that in South Carolina? But you can't control a kid and tell a kid how they felt. You know, that's how she felt about the situation. I'm not sure how true it is, but much power to her. But coming back to South Carolina, been preparing for a lot of boos and a lot of upset fans at you. But all in all, that should be a great game. I can't wait to see that battle.
And we're listening live to the JT Experience here on City World Media. We're talking with our guru of sports, Donnie Donis Martin. Want to talk about, touch on men's college basketball. Why do you think there's so much parity in the men's college basketball game right now?
Simply put, NIL. More schools are able to purchase players just as much as you are. Now, there are still the elites of the elites. Some schools got way more money than others, and that's why we'll notice that the SEC basketball is coming for everybody, because those schools just have so much football money laying around that they can't help but be good at basketball too. But it's all about recruiting nowadays, because nobody has team chemistry. because you don't have those squads that have been together for 2, 3, 4 years. So it's just about how can you recruit players are transferring year in and year out. So even if you had a good season this year, you can bring in a whole new starting five the next year just by default. And that's crazy to me. But that's what it's all about. Like, these teams are slowly but surely figuring themselves out as the season goes along, as opposed to having a team that's already established and already putting something together.
All righty, dude. We're going to move to college football. And I'm just going to ask you, do you agree with the top 5 right now? And do you see anybody that's in the top 5 eventually being the national champion at the end of the year?
You know what? I'm going to have to look this up, because right now I have not seen the latest rankings of the AP top 5. Mm-hmm. And let me go take a look at this real quick.
Do you think the SEC will have representations? I believe Alabama sits at number 4 with 1 loss. Do you think it would be them that make it through the college football playoffs?
That I don't know. I will say this: Bama is tough this year. But it's a whole. First of all, these SEC teams are going to beat up on each other over the next several weeks. Right now, you got Georgia, you got Georgia, you got Alabama, you got even a team like Texas, who hasn't been doing much this year. You still got to play them. Tennessee's, Kentucky, South Florida. Florida. I mean, it's a lot of action in the SEC, and a lot is still to be determined. So just because you stand in a certain place right now does not mean that that's where you're going to be in 2-3 weeks from now. So, if Alabama can survive this gauntlet that they have left, I'm not sure their remaining schedule, but I do know they play South Carolina. I do know they still got the Auburn game left. And if they end up, coming up out of this thing without any more blemishes on their record, then the sky's the limit for Alabama this year. But I just don't know, because I don't see Texas A&M. I don't see Indiana. I don't see them as legit threats right now.
Are you surprised that both Clemson and South Carolina worked their way out of the top 25? And I want you to talk specifically about the quarterback for South Carolina. Is he still a Heisman candidate?
No, unfortunately, absolutely not. And that's probably the flip side of that is my biggest disappointment of the season. I actually, I had better hopes for South Carolina, not necessarily to finish with a better record than Clemson, because they play in 2 different conferences, and South Carolina's conference is obviously tougher, and which you could lose more games and still be the better team. I actually expected that for South Carolina, that they would probably lose more games than Clemson, but would still be the better team. So South Carolina is one of my biggest disappointments of the season. Trust me, I lost a lot of money on South Carolina this year betting them, because I kept believing. I kept taking the fool's gold, kept thinking, well, this week they're going to show up. But week after week, they let me down. But the only thing more disappointing than is the performances Clemson's been putting up. Clemson should absolutely be embarrassed by their football season this year. They lost to a bunch of scrubs they shouldn't have lost to, and they don't even look competitive in the games that they're playing right now.
Does Dabo have a job, or do they buy him out after the season?
I think Dabo has earned the right to still keep his job. He has, if you love that good that you get with those coaches, then you gotta go through some bad with them. Now, as horrible as this season is, and trust me, it's a god-awful season, you still gotta stick with Dabo, because you gotta ask yourself, you are Clemson University, who better than Dabo to be there for you next year? Who is gonna bring you back? Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't agree with the way that Dabo has been doing things, not utilizing guys from the portal or whatever he's been doing, if you already have an issue with that, you want him gone anyway, then I see why you would be rallying behind that. But if you're going to get back to the promised land, I feel like your best option would be with Dabo Swinney to lead you there.
Got you. We're going to move on to the pros, and a lot to unpack here, but I'm going to ask you about your pick for Thursday Night Football. Are you rolling with the Vikings or the Chargers?
Man, Chargers coming off that tough loss last week. I don't know. I'm going to have to go with the Vikings in this one. I'm not sure I like to trust the Carson Wentz-led squad, but somehow, some way, Vikings have been playing good football this year. Whereas the Chargers, who I firmly believe in as well, who I thought were going to be true AFC West contenders this year, they They disappointed me. Had a comeback win against Miami the week before that pulled them out of the slums, and then they came back with them old sorry mustard uniforms last week, and then took a horrible L. So, Chargers, as much as I like them, they've been a little bit up and down, and I don't know if they, with Amarion Hampton being out, and I don't know. I think they just might take an L this week. I put my money on the Vikings.
What is your take on the Carolina Panthers so far? Let's go with the home team.
Great season, especially for the expectations. There's some people in the world thought this team might win 2 games all year. So the Panthers, to me, although they are not elite, they are absolutely balling out in comparison to what I thought they were going to be this year. So we'll see how they do this weekend with Bryce Young out. I would really like them to scoop up this one win right here with Bryce out, because I feel like he'll be back that following week. If they can do that, man, the sky's the limit for this Panthers team. They could and should be a legitimate playoff threat, especially as long as there's no-name defense to keep stepping this game up and playing, making big plays and big moments. Because that's been the key to the defense. They aren't elite in no way, shape, or form. Only people I know on the defense is J.C. Horn and Derek Brown, and I watch these dudes every week and still don't know nobody. Mike Jackson, maybe, but still don't know nobody else. But somehow, someway, they make the plays when it counts. And as long as they keep doing that, this Panthers team may have a legit shot at making the playoffs this year.
What is the problem in Miami?
I think their style is just played out now at this point. I think people have caught up to that. Well, first of all, you're missing Tyreek, which is a huge part of all of the action right there. Mm-hmm. But even with him, people aren't afraid of that anymore. You're not getting open. Nobody's giving to it that type of time to get open. That Mike McDaniel, we realized that is as brilliant as a play caller as we thought he is. So that does just Miami. Everything that looks bad about them. The only team worse than them is my Jets.
I was gonna save the Jets for last because I didn't really see them not being in the position that they're in now. I think I'm still gonna save them for last. The Bills and the Panthers. Who do you got winning that game Sunday?
Man, if Andy Dalton could play well, I got the Panthers upsetting the Bills. Man, call me crazy, but Josh Allen hasn't looked like Josh Allen this year. He's playing his butt off. He's playing well, but we haven't seen huge performances from Josh Allen. That Buffalo Bills defense, I'm not afraid of it. I mean, they okay, but I'm not afraid of it. As long as if we were going into the game with Bryce, I would feel a whole lot more comfortable calling this a Panthers W. But it's all about how the red rifle comes out. If he comes out slinging that rock, we're going to win this game. And he does seem to have a pretty good connection with XL, so I'm excited about to see if he can bring out the best in XL this week. And if Tutter Miller can give us a little something, Jalen Coker, look out for this, because the running game is stout. I'm like, well, I've already seen what Rico Dowdell can do for us 2 weeks straight with 200 yards on the ground. And then we already know what Chuba's capable of. So the running game I'm not too concerned about. We can definitely move the ball on Buffalo, running that rock. But I just if Andy don't give us any type of passing game, we're gonna upset the Buffalo Bills this week.
All right, Cowboys Broncos. What's your take, and how do you see this game going?
I think this is a huge game for both teams because this could determine a lot for both teams' season. I feel like both of y'all desperately need this W bad. Broncos was able to pull off that miracle last week against the Giants, so that helped them out a lot. And then y'all just had a straight mollywop. I can't even remember who y'all played, but y'all
Commanders.
Who y'all play?
Commanders.
Yeah. Y'all beat the wheels off of them. But right now, with y'all sitting with that one tie, and Philly not looking the best in the division, Washington without their quarterback for the next couple of weeks, now is y'all's time to take hold of that division right now. So y'all need every win counts right now. But that Sean Payton defense, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to sling that rock all over the field like y'all were able to do with everybody else, because A, they can cover your receivers, and B, they don't give you even that much time because they do put pressure on you. But with all that being said, and then of course y'all, the flip side of that is y'all's defense. I don't think y'all's defense has been capable of stopping anybody all season long. So I definitely don't think y'all can stop the Broncos. But I definitely expected an offensive shootout in this one. But give me the Cowboys, as much as I hate to say it. I think y'all need this one.
Every game this season, I've been saying, man, first team to 30 in our games, because
yes, it is.
You can't really. It's got to be an offensive shootout.
Absolutely.
Jets and Bengals, man. Is this the week right here?
Man, I'm a Jets fan, so I'm telling you this the week. But I've said that at least 5 weeks in a row. So I've been wrong before. And my boys keep making me look bad. Just when I start to believe in them and think, because we're not as horrible as a football team that we've been playing. Like Bill Parcells famously said, you are what your record says you are. So we are an 0-7 football team. We are garbage. We are the bottom of the barrel. But we have entirely too much talent on this roster not to be better than what we are. And I don't think it's the coaching staff either at this point. We first of all, we just had a couple of unfortunate losses. We should have beat the Steelers the first game of the year. We should have beat the Miami Dolphins. So that's 2 wins right there. But a couple of games we got blown out. But for the most part, we've been in our rest of our games. It's just that we can't, no consistent quarterback play, no weapons at wide receiver outside of Garrett Wilson. And you just can't get the running game going because you can't get the passing game going. It's so, teams put 8 dudes in the box on Brees Hall, double cover Garrett Wilson. Now where you going to go with the ball? You do exactly what we do every other play. Justin Wilson, whatever his name is, stands back the field, stands back there long enough to get sacked. So, but I think we need another piece or two. You probably ain't going to add that this year, but I definitely feel like we can get some wins this year. I heard somebody say we're going to be 0-17. I just don't believe that. And why not get off the schneid this week? Put a little pressure on Joey Flack and see if his old ass hit the ground a couple times if he still want a quarterback. So we're going to find out. But I got my money on the Jets this week.
We got a matchup that I want to get your take on it. A team that I think got it worse than the Jets, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. What do you think is going to happen in this game against the Chicago Bears?
First of all, it's critical of not if Lamar plays or not. I don't know what the latest is. Last I heard, he was a soft practice yesterday. I don't know what happened in practice today. So if Lamar plays, then of course you got the best player and one of the best players in football on your side. That always helps to have your back. But if Lamar does not play and they mess around and lose this game, then their season is over. I can see them coming back from 1-5. I cannot see them coming back from 1-6. It's just at that point, you just don't have enough games left. And especially if Pittsburgh were to somehow pull out a victory this week and get that one more game separation. I just don't see you coming back in the division. The wild card is going to be too tough to catch in the AFC. So this is Baltimore's season on the line. I expect them to get a win tomorrow, Sunday, but I'm just, without Lamar Jackson, I just can't call it.
What is your thought on what is going on with Derrick Henry?
That I don't know. The 2 biggest mysteries of the year right now is what's going on with Derrick and Saquon. I don't know. Well, the fumbles, I'm not even going to label Derrick Henry a fumbler. Those were perfectly punched out balls that I don't think no human being would have ever been able to hold on to. Like, kudos, hats off to the defensive players who forced the fumbles on Derrick. But as far as not only just his fumbles, him getting off the schneid period, I don't even know if he's had a 100-yard game this season. And it's just unlike Derrick Henry. Now, not having Lamar out there and not having that threat of the opposite runner that's handing the ball off to you does, have the defense keying in on you a little bit more, not getting your passing game going, has the defense keying in on you a little bit more. But Derrick Henry just hasn't looked Derrick Henry-ish from what I've seen either. Like, you got to run a couple dudes over. You got to make a couple of the guys miss. You got to, that first tackler might get to you, but you got to make sure he pays the price for it and then run his butt over and get to make 2 or 3 people take you down. I just haven't seen that Derrick Henry this year. And same with Saquon. It's time for them to both get going. Hopefully this will be the week to see it. But sooner or later, I feel like both of those guys will get to going.
Glad you brought up Saquon. Gonna bring us to the next game. Giants at the Eagles. You got.
Oh, man, give me Jackson Darton now. Call me crazy, but I like the way the football that Jackson Darton have been playing lately since Jackson started, and that big hammerhead, I can't even think of his name, but that big bowling ball they got back there in the backfield. I like what they're doing. Even without Malik Neighbors, the number 1 wide receiver, they still been putting up points. Guys like Shepard and all of those wide receivers you never even heard of before have been playing pretty good for the Giants. So, with the Eagles in turmoil, AJ releasing his, cryptic, mysterious text this week and missing practice, I just don't, it's hard to focus with a guy like that. Now, he might not be intentionally being a distraction, which I don't know what else to call it, but you know what you're doing when you post stupid stuff like that. You know people are going to feed into it. You know it's going to be on Sports Center the next day. You know all of that. You know it's distracting. It's going to be in the Philadelphia papers. You know reporters are going to come up to you and ask about it in the locker room. So in a sense, you are creating a distraction. And I just feel like Philly got too much noise in the atmosphere this year. So the Giants ain't the team to take a game off on. My heart's telling me Philadelphia, but the facts are telling me go with the Giants. They the hot team right now.
They are the hot team. Let's go Miami, Atlanta. Which one you got?
That might be the battle of the bums. Like, nah, Atlanta's a pretty good team this year. Miami's finished, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Falcons in this one. The Miami Dolphins can't stop anybody on defense. They lost Darren Waller, who was their one solid threat down in the red zone of the last few games, and I just don't see two of those too many interceptions. Like, he's just not a good quarterback at this point in time. I don't know if it's the play calling, the system, or what, but he's just not playing good at quarterback. So give me the Falcons in that one. I think Michael Penix and them can put together enough points. Bijan Robinson's running like a daggone wild man. So I feel like that, Kyle Pitts has been playing good this year. But yeah, I just feel like Atlanta has enough firepower that they're going to take that game from the Dolphins.
Man, we are talking live with Donnie, the guru of sports, here on the JT Experience. We're in the midst of these NFL picks, and we got to ask 49ers and Texans, man. Which team going to take it Sunday?
I like what I've been seeing out of the 49ers. The 49ers are hot. Unfortunately, Houston is the opposite. They're cold. C.J. Stroud has regressed over the last 2 years. Great rookie season, but now that the tape has been out, because they got this pretty much almost the same personnel as they had a couple of years ago. So why they're not able to get anything going, I just don't know. And right now, with Mac Jones at quarterback, the San Francisco 49ers have been looking absolutely unstoppable. I don't even they missing their 2 wide receivers. Just got Kittle back, but he didn't even catch a pass last week, and they still look good. So the San Francisco 49ers, they're a problem this year in the NFC. So give me the Panthers. Give me the Niners.
The Belichick Bowl. We're going Cleveland and New England. Who you got?
Going New England. New England's been playing pretty good under Mike Vrabel. I like what I see out of Drake May. He's solid. Stephon Diggs is having a resurgence. They're just a solid team. New England, I can't even tell you who's on their defense. I can't name not one player on their defense. But the Patriots find a way to win every week. They are a true contender in the AFC East. And like I said, especially with Buffalo, I feel like taking a step back this year, the Patriots have a legit shot of winning the AFC East, which is crazy to think. And nobody would have thought that at the beginning of the year. But, yeah, give me the Patriots in this game.
All right, man. The battle of the NFC South, Tampa Bay and New Orleans.
Unfortunately for New Orleans, man, Spencer Rattler just ain't him. You know what I mean? I would like for him to be, but he is not him. So they're going to get mollywopped this week. Now, Bucks are hurt. They are hurt. I will say that. Losing Mike Evans for the year, that hurt a lot. Even though they've been playing the last few games without him anyway and still putting up numbers and still winning. But they're banged up a little bit. But give me the Bucks on that one all day. They're just a better team.
Big matchup here. The Titans and the Colts. Who you got?
Once again, it's simply a matter of being a better team. Colts are for real this year. Like Andy Dimes, I don't know what got into him since he switched uniforms, but he's the problem. And he's going out there making those receivers look good. You got Jonathan Taylor running the rock from here to daggone wherever. And then just on the flip side of that, Cam, I love Cam Thomas. That's my boy. I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan. They're just not ready right now. And they don't have enough firepower. You got guys that are listing trades off the team right now. Tyler Lockett trying to get up out of there because it just ain't in Tennessee. I think from the coaching staff on down, I don't like the system they put together. I said Cam Thomas, but
Cam Ward.
Yeah, Cam Ward. My bad about that, but I just don't like the system they put him in this year, and I feel like it's going to be a struggle for Tennessee all year long. I feel like they won their one and only game that they're going to win this year, and good luck to them the rest of the season. But give me the Colts all day.
Sunday Night Football, we got the Packers and the Steelers. You got
the Aaron Rodgers Bowl, man. Let me see who I got in this one. Is it? You know what? I don't even know where the game is played at, but give me the home team in that one because I feel like this is going to be a good matchup either way. I feel like it's going to come down to the wire. Both teams got solid quarterback play. Both teams got solid defensive play. Even though the Steelers' defense has been lacking somewhat this year, they got a lot of pieces there. You cannot sleep on them. With J.J. Watt will sack you 12 times. T.J. Watt will sack you 12 times in a game. So just because they haven't been playing good don't mean it won't. But so that I expect that to be a great game. Give me the home team in that one. Don't know who's home, but whoever's home, I'm taking them.
Pittsburgh is at home.
All right, give me Pittsburgh in that one.
All right, the Monday night tilt, and here's the grand finale: Washington and Kansas City.
Man, the Chiefs are fish grease right now. I mean, absolutely hot right now. They got Rashee Rice back. They got Worthy back the week before, 2 weeks ago. But the Chiefs looking like the old Chiefs, too. That's the scary part. They're actually putting up points like they did a couple of years ago. Last year, they just skated by, just barely beat teams. They almost lost to the Panthers last year, and we were trash. But, yeah, so last year, they just skated by, played to the level of competition. This year, these last couple of weeks, they started off slow. The Chiefs started off slow, but now that they got back in their groove, they looking to be, I ain't going to say unstoppable, but you can't go against Patty Mahomes in situations like this. So give me the Chiefs that one, man. I hate to say it.
No doubt, man. Hey, I appreciate it, man. You came through in all the sports, man. I appreciate you coming on the show tonight on the JT Experience. We're going to do it again next Thursday. So until then, Donnie, appreciate you, man. And good football watching this weekend. It's going to be fun.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to talk about it next week. I'm going to enjoy all the action this week, and we're going to talk about what goes down once I see you again, my brother.
No doubt. I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Thank you.
All right. All right, Donnie Martin coming through with the sports report. He is the guru. For real, man. That guy gets in and does his thing, man. We're going to go to some music because, we've been on them interviews for a while. So we're going to go to my man, Black North. Real stupid. You hear DJ Poet JT here on the JT Experience on City World Media.
Real stupid, real stupid. Real stupid, real stupid. Real stupid, real stupid, real stupid. Real stupid, real stupid, real stupid. The real stupid, real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid, real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid, real stupid. Got the wrong seasoning. Sprinkle for the taste. The chef say he cooking, but lying to your face. Everybody got a plan with a tool in their hand. You can act like you're super, but they killing off the man. Got bananas in the clips, spitting melon from the lips. Blood talks out your body, down the ridge and come in tips. I don't know how you don't get it with kids on the line, cause they got to go to school with that on their mind. Living hell like they comfortable, sex Columbine. With kids in the hood, had to live it all the time. Gun control this, gun control that. The stats going up, and that's just a fact. Making millions to gazillions, reduce the people by billions. And that's the real truth, and that's how they feel it. And real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid out here. And real stupid, real stupid, real stupid. And real stupid, real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid out here. Real stupid, real stupid out here. And real stupid, real stupid, real stupid. People play the mind, they mimic what they see. Dummy can't beat when dummy can't flee. They drinking from the same well just to be a star, but they don't understand that they now an avatar. You can see all the cards, you can have all the riches, but when it comes time, you got to pay the tuition. Should have paid attention to them signs you was getting, but you blocked out the vision, so you can't keep pretending. A star being born was a statement, not a mission. Your time
Time to wake the light for the darker apparition. Now you go to jail, everything fail. You're seeking so fast, all your friends bail. They check your career, put it deep underground. Then check you somewhere that's lost and never found. That real stupid out here. Real stupid out here. Real stupid out here. That real stupid. That real stupid out here. Real stupid out here. Real stupid out here. That real stupid. Better wake up, 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 better wake up. My boy Black North. Quick commercial, 12 seconds.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl Kendra D from Life with Ken, the podcast show. You are now tuned in to City World Media with DJ Poet JT on the JT Experience Show.
Man, it's been a dope show, man. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in and everybody that's going to tune in. Appreciate my guests coming through. The Slow Chemical. Also, Mr. Two Chops and Donnie Martin. We appreciate him and everybody came through. Tune in, man. Go follow us on City World Media. And, hey, keep supporting the JT Experience. I am your host, DJ Poet JT. We appreciate everybody that tuned in. Yo, it's your time in your world, man, so make it happen. From my city to your world, we out. Peace.